Hello, sacred souls. It's Susanna from Alamanic Shaman. What I have here for us tonight is an inner child healing for both the maternal and the paternal bloodlines, for both of our lineages. And forgive the stereotyping, but the one mannequin was already kind of hanging on the shelf a little bit like this, and my mother sometimes stood like that, so that's going to represent the female figure. And my dad sometimes stood like that, so I kind of placed it like that, so that shall represent the father, and then the child in the middle. I put some Halloween candy here since it is Halloween, and that shall also represent childhood fun, trick-or-treating, getting dressed up in a costume, going to parties and whatever. And then I also put some stickers behind there. See some stickers. And here I have a light and some Hall's packaging. And that shall represent how in toxic family dynamics, that also then translated into relationship dynamics later on, a lot of times our light might have gotten dimmed or got dimmed, and our voice did not count or was snuffed out, or like we were kind of silenced. Our voice was not heard in a how should I put this, in a way that we felt truly respected and heard, right? And some of this may not even be conscious to a lot of people for a long time. Like when I was growing up, I didn't feel that I was not heard, but we were all so dysfunctional that we would just sort of be dismissive with each other. And it took me years and years of being far away and having a lot of physical as well as emotional space and distance to really sort of understand things better, because once you're in the middle of the abuse, it's hard to see sometimes, right? So you gotta get enough distance and space to kind of see it for what it is, and of course, work on yourself as well, do some healing and so on. All right, anyway, so what I did here differently from like what I've previously done is I wanted to show that both our mothers and fathers were not really free from the abuse that they grew up with, right? So that's how I showed it, by like having basically a rope around their necks and their wrists tied, and then that cord goes to their belly area, representing more or less the navel. That is then corded to us in the crib here, represented in the crib by the mini mannequin. And there I tied both cords around us, sort of in the midsection and a bit lower. Interestingly, I didn't go higher, but it seems to be covering like the lower 3 chakras. But what was important to me was that it also tied our arms. So to show that we are also not free. Well, haven't been, whatever stage of healing you're in, right? And we're still healing, like even if you've already done a lot of healing, but you might be fine-tuning, right? So anyhow, so what we want to do is break the toxic and dark bonds and cords that our parents had. And I know, like, for example, my mother was very outspoken when it came to helping other people who were the underdog, but she could not stand up to her own mother, right? So, like, it really did get passed down from generation to generation. And, basically when we break our bonds, our toxic cords, that also helps them heal if they're still alive. If they're not alive anymore, it still helps the family lineage. But everyone gets a healing through this anyhow, right? So, and then we're gonna, what I found actually very weird and interesting is, as I had this set up and before I put the stickers behind here, I was looking at this, and as much as I love Halloween and so on, I started to think that the Halloween candy looked kind of ominous above the crib, right? Kind of almost like a spooky, scary type ghost. So I guess that's also representative of sort of that darkness that we may not recognize right away as something dark, because we think we're loved by our family and, you know, the fighting is normal and whatever, blah, 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 right? Because most enmeshed families and dysfunctional families think it's normal until someone awakens and breaks free from it, right? Anyway, then I have another red wax heart that I made and formed. Sorry, it's quite cold, and shaping the wax in the cold is a little tricky, so it's a little lumpy. Forgive me, but that's the best I could do right now, because yeah, in these temperatures it gets a little trickier. And I forgot my ceremonial scissors in my raincoat yesterday, so I'm just gonna use the pocket knife, but that's okay. That's gonna work just fine. Okay, so let's get started. Ta-da! Dear Creator, Higher Power, Source, and Soul Energy, our higher selves, our higher spirit guides of the light, our ancestors that are in the light, and Great Spirit of the fire, please help us heal and free ourselves from any and all remaining toxic and dark cords and bonds and connections to our parents that are no longer serving, that are stopping or hindering us from our ascension, that are stopping or hindering us from moving into the light and fully and completely healing our inner child. And with that healing, let both of our maternal and paternal family lineages and all of our relatives in those lineages receive a healing as well. Let the dysfunction and the abuse that was passed down from generation to generation end with us, and from us as a beacon of light or a pillar of light, let it radiate to everyone, even if we're not really in contact with them, but let it affect everyone in a positive way, so that this dysfunction stops, that this abuse stops, that we can move forward and leave conditional love behind and move into unconditional love and acceptance, where we can have true support and not faked support. And by that I have a few things in mind, where I've had family members as well as friends verbally be supportive when I shared some stuff with them, that I was doing some new projects and I wanted to get a business off the ground and so on. But as an empath, I could feel so strongly how they didn't mean it, and I ended up feeling very held back by their lack of belief in me and their lack of true support, right? So all of that should be healed as well, that we can leave that behind. We can reach a place of true unconditional love and compassion, understanding, kindness, respect, and forgiveness, so that we can let go of all the stuff that has been weighing heavily on us and has been burdening us, whether we were aware of it or not. So let us cut those toxic cords. And I'm just switching to the right. Now, let's see how well I can cut with this, but I'm just going to cut the cord to the mother first. Yeah, this is a little trick here. The other scissors are way easier, but I'm sure I'll get it. Okay. Okay, never mind. Change of plan. I'm going to burn that today. All right, let's burn the cords. Hey, that's actually very symbolic too, because we're filled with light. So let the light burn away the dark cord. Ooh, this is actually good. I like it. All right, this should be good. So the toxic and dark cord to the mother shall now and forever be severed and burnt away and transmuted into love and light throughout all of time and space, throughout all lifetimes, timelines, parallel and alternate realms, realities, multi and universes, and any and all other aspects that affect us in this lifetime. And let the same be done to the Father, the cord, the toxic dark cord that we have with the Father. And let me just blow that one out before it goes in the fire. Hold on. There. Oh. Okay, that works for now. And let any and all cords, dark and toxic cords and bonds between our fathers and us now and forever be severed and finished, burnt away and transmuted into love and light and removed. And let's see, that should, yeah, and here we go. Let's maybe put that out. It's a little easier to handle when I don't have already burning cords. Give me one sec. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna put this back in here. Okay, so let us, no, actually, sorry, we're gonna go in last. Ladies first. Let our mothers' dark and toxic cords that kept them hostage and prisoner be burnt away and transmuted by the fire and turned into healing light and unconditional love, and let them be flooded, filled and surrounded by massive amounts of healing light and unconditional love, blessings and protections. Let them be filled with true inner peace, happiness, feeling supported and feeling that they can support others. And let them be filled with true compassion and understanding for themselves and others, and reach a place of forgiveness. And so it is, all my relations. And the same shall be the case for our fathers. Let all of their toxic and dark cords that kept them hostage and bound be burnt away and transmuted by the fire. And let our fathers let go of the toxic masculine that they were raised with, so that they are able to move more into their heart space. Oh, and I feel guided to throw the heart in right now with that. Because men were traditionally taught not to show feelings and to be tough. Boys don't cry, men don't cry, and so on, right? So let their hearts be filled with so much love and light that all that imposed conditioning melts away. Let them heal from all that toxicity, and let them be filled and surrounded by so much healing light, unconditional love, blessings, and protections, and as well as true compassion, understanding, kindness, patience, and forgiveness for themselves and others. And so it is. Thank you, Miigwech. Dankeschön, all my relations. Whoa, the energy is already shifting quite nicely. And let us, or actually our inner child, our inner children, so we're plural, but each of us has one inner child, right? So let our inner child also be healed and purified by the fire. Hold on. Ooh, actually that's symbolic too. Oh my gosh, when I put out the burning cord, it's like we have dirt in the crib. That is so symbolic too. My gosh. Okay. I'm going to leave that in when I throw it in the fire. But let all of our toxic and dark cords, bonds, soul bindings, vows, soul contracts, shackles, chains, leashes, and karmic debts, as well as any and all other toxic and dark connections to our parents and grandparents, uncles, aunts, cousins, etc., our families, be burnt away, and let everything that has kept us prisoner, in a sense, and restricted and limited, be burnt away and be transmuted into love and light. And let us be filled and surrounded by massive amounts of healing light, unconditional love, blessings, and protections, and an abundance of health, wealth, good luck, happiness, support, and anything else that we've been lacking up until now. And this is so interesting. Sorry, that I kind of spaced out earlier. Do you remember how when I did the father, when I did the healing for the father wound, I had 2 legs left for the middle part that didn't record. Well, here again, it's like the 2 legs were kind of falling down and they were sticking out. I'll throw them back in, but I just wanted to show you quickly. All right, then the hall's packaging shall represent not having our voice heard, having our voice taken away, muted, snuffed out, not respected, and so on. So by throwing these in the fire, let us take our voice back. Let our voice be restored. Let us be able to speak up for ourselves and stand strong within our truth and not falter or shy away from expressing how we feel and what we think, especially when we think someone is wronging us. Because also, like, even outside of our families, society often teaches us that, oh, it's not worth it, just let it go. But that's how we silence our own voice, right? So let that all go in the fire as well. And with the stickers, let all the joy and happiness and innocence of our inner child, of our childhood, return to us. And let us as adults be a little bit like children again. And I'm not saying that we should be childish and irresponsible, but let us be a little more carefree again. Let us stop and smell the roses. Let us enjoy the little things in life. As a kid with my friends, we sometimes just went to the edge of the forest and climbed up on those lookouts that the hunters have for the animals, and that was our castle, and we played castle and had so much fun there, right? And there was like a tiny little stream, so that was our river, and we had this whole fantasy world that we created and lived in, and it was just amazing. And sometimes we just have to let go of all the burdens and responsibilities. I'm not saying don't pay your bills, okay? Don't get me wrong. But yeah, we just have to kind of let go and have fun again. So that's what the stickers are for, and also the Halloween candy. Because dressing up in a costume is so much fun. And especially like if you can be someone else for a day, just, go be silly, let loose, and just go a little crazy, playing a role that you wouldn't normally play. Let's say one Halloween I went as an old Italian man and had a cigar and a fake mustache. And it was just so much fun, right? So, and sometimes we have to actually worry less about who could possibly get offended. Maybe I offended old Italian men, and I'm sorry, I should say senior or wise or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I'm not always 100% up to date on the latest politically correct words that might apply to all different parts of the population, but my point is that if we heal our inner child, we actually won't get offended anymore, right? So I think the fact that our society has become so overly politically correct, and for the longest time I really, really enjoyed it because it has also helped me personally heal a lot. But I think that's a sign that our society has become sort of stronger in the victim mentality, right? And if we're strongly in the victim mentality, that actually creates more narcissists who only see themselves as victims, and that is the opposite of the healing that we actually want. Because once we're healed and our inner child is fully healed, nothing and no one can hurt us anymore, because we won't take it personal, because we know that's their issue and not ours. And help us get to that, please. Help us heal to the point where nothing will offend us, nothing will harm or hurt us, because we know it's not about us. We know that's the other person's dysfunction and their unhealed shadow side. And sorry, the smoke is getting into my eyes again and my nose. So that's probably a sign that it's pretty much time to finish. But I actually want to put the candle in there as well, because our light that was snuffed out also still needs a bit more healing. So I'm just going to throw that in, and the fire will actually... Oops, it was supposed to tilt over. That's okay, I'll get that in a minute. All right, so just to finish it off, let us be filled and surrounded by so much love and light, so many blessings and protections and an abundance in all areas of our lives. Thank you so much for watching, and if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you like, share it with people who might also enjoy it. And be well until next time. Thank you. Bye.